Today I'm making a grilled corn salad with cilantro lime dressing. I'm gonna grill my veggies on the grill outside and we're gonna go over there soon. I've got my corn in the sink soaking because that makes it nice and juicy. I just took the husk off, but I always try if I have time to soak it a little, and then we're gonna go grill that. But before we do that, let's get started with the first steps. The first thing I want to tell you is just use what veggies you have. Sometimes I put summer green beans in this salad or asparagus. Today I have Brussels sprouts and I'm gonna steam them first in the oven and then barbecue them on the grill. And I happen to have some portobellos, so I'm gonna put those on the grill with the corn. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to just chop the Brussels sprouts, and I'm just going to do it in half. The superstar of this recipe is the corn, and that's coming on stage soon. Then I'm going to season these up. I'm going to put them in my toaster oven, covered with foil. Just enough to soften them up because I found that makes the most delicious Brussels sprouts. If you're a person that doesn't like Brussels sprouts, you have to try it like this. Okay, now to just season these up before I put them on my little cast iron tray, I'm going to put some cilantro lime coconut aminos. This is my favorite one. And I'm going to put a squirt of mustard. And now let me just stir that around. Time for a little salt and pepper. Last stir. Okay, so now we're going to put them on our tray. Okay, and then we're going to cover them with foil, and the reason to do that is you want to create steam that'll stay under the foil and just soften the Brussels sprouts enough before I either put them in my air fryer or the grill. I've learned these are the best Brussels sprouts ever. Okay, they're going to go in my toaster oven, 425, and it'll probably be about 10 minutes. Okay, so next, let me show you what I did with the portobellos. I basically sliced them up and I drizzled them with a little olive oil and my coconut aminos. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And I'm going to keep turning them over. They've been here for about 15 or 20 minutes. A little more seasoning. That's all they need. And honestly, don't really need to put the oil. I just put a tiny little drizzle to get everything to stick on there. Okay, and now it's time to get the corn that I have soaking in the water right here in my sink for about 30 minutes. I am going to cut these tomatoes and just stick them back in my bowl. Nice thing about cherry tomatoes is you just need to have them. They stay really juicy. These are those super sweet cherry tomatoes. One of the reasons we didn't grow so much food this year was because of the drought, and we're so restricted with water. That's the best reason to go vegan and eat plant-based, because really it's the #1 thing you can do for the climate in crisis. So if you enjoy this salad, then you've saved some animals, but you've also saved the planet a little bit with every meal. That's my #1 goal. Okay, that's it. So now let's just get the corn prepped and we'll get everything on the grill. The tomatoes aren't going on the grill, they're just going in the salad. So all I want to do with the corn is I just brush some oil on my hands and then go like this, because that allows me to do minimal. Okay, so let's grill up the mushrooms and the corn and the Brussels sprouts, which have steamed for 10 minutes in my toaster oven. Okay, so we're ready to make the salad, but before we do, let's make the dressing. So it's pretty simple, but it's really delicious. We're gonna take our blender and add a half a cup of cashews. We're gonna add 2 cloves of garlic, a little bit of taco seasoning. I'm gonna put half of this, and a bunch of cilantro, I would say 1 packed cup. And I'm gonna add a little maple syrup. And lastly, we're gonna juice 1 lime, and if we need more, then we do more. Okay, I'm gonna put this down here so you can see it better. Okay, so this is the first step of it. You have to taste it because it's gonna be too thick at this point. You're always gonna add some water. That's quite good. And since I didn't soak my cashews, I have to blend it extra time because I want it smooth and not little chunks of cashews in there. Okay, now you can see, do you see it moves around? Okay, so check it out. Okay, so let's start chopping. Okay, some cilantro, arugula, wow, that arugula smells so good. Okay, so now we're gonna do our corn. Beautiful. And now I'm going to take the mushrooms out on the side. And now we put the Brussels sprouts in there. So great to touch your food with your hands, making sure they're clean always, but there's something so organic about that. Okay, and we're gonna do our grilled peaches. Beautiful. Look at the little grill marks on the peach. Just brings out the sugar that's already in the peach. And now it's time for the tomatoes to add that incredible color. So now I'm just gonna scoop some into my bowl to have right now for my taste test, and then I'm gonna keep the rest for later for dinner. So I don't wanna put the dressing on the whole salad yet. So let's get in here. Look at those peaches and all that corn, Brussels sprouts, and I get to get the mushrooms. I'm the mushroom queen of the house. And now let's put a little of the cilantro cashew lime dressing. Stir that around. Wow, that color. Check it out. Okay, let's dig in. Tomato, Brussels sprout, and peach. Wow, you can really taste that char on the Brussels sprouts. They're delicious. That dressing is killer, and let me give you a little tip. If you're someone that doesn't want to eat any fat or can't, then you can just replace the cashews with white cannelloni beans from the can. Works just as well. You just won't need to add as much water. And something that I just realized I forgot to add that I always do is avocados. They will be beautiful in here. I'll add a couple before dinner tonight. Look at all that corn, and that arugula has such a, I don't know, arugula has such a peppery, kind of like peppery, beautiful taste. You guys, this is the kind of meal I love in the summer. It's so hearty, but it's filled with all the freshness of summer with the corn and the peaches. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You guys have to try this. Those tomatoes and the arugula, all the flavors together. This dressing is a killer. It's a killer. I will use this often on all kinds of things. It's even good on tacos because you just add a little more taco seasoning, but it's so delicious. You gotta try it. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me today, and thanks so much for subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you next time.